Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cold.
You're my boy, Blue!
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Blue here, and it's time for my daily recap. Now, since yesterday I didn't get a chance to do a recap because I had some other things going on, I'm going to go ahead and go over the trades that I took from yesterday too, on top of the ones for the day. I played the same setup that I normally play, which is this the pre-market lows, this the pre-market highs. Wait a minute, this the pre-market highs for yesterday. I got the ones marked up from today too, so that's why it's 4 different white lines on here, support and resistance. But this was my pre-market lows and this was the highs. So when I seen this candle sitting on I believe, let me see, yeah, I seen this candle wouldn't push down to my lows and it got up here to test my highs. I went on ahead and started in with a small position because I wanted to add if it got up here to like the like a double top type setup. So once it got pushed through and it got up here, I didn't get in until it actually tapped up here. So I added some more to my position, looking for it to come back down, and I was going to take some off and then hold the rest just to let them see what they'll do for the day. If they went to zero, I wouldn't have lost any profits or anything. I would have already took majority of my position off. So anyways, it once it got up here, I added in, but it continued up. And I waited for it to actually come up, then hold over it, and then form a new candle and start pushing. So I took my position off and I left one contract on, just to see if it would try to fade and get me in the money. And it can risk until zero, because I would have had all the way till Friday, which is today, that it can get into the money. So as you can see, it went up, tested the weekly, just a weekly highs, and it faded. So it didn't end up getting me in the money, but it was like I hadn't lost anything yet, besides the small amount that I lost from getting out my contracts here. But it was a small loss, so I didn't really lose that much on that trade. So then I took a trade on Apple yesterday, and I went short on the pre-market lows here. Once it broke through and it came back up, I shorted this once it got back up here in this candle, but it ended up squeezing up on me. So I had only had a starter position on this, so it was very small. I wasn't really worried as much about it, and it was just something I left on. And let me see, I believe I took it off for to break even. No, I took it off once it broke and held over the pre-market lows. That's when I took it off, and I took a small loss on that one too. Actually, yesterday wasn't a great day. I had 3 losses, and that's what stopped me from continuing to trade. I ended up trading Netflix too yesterday. I was looking at this and this double bottom right here. Well, you can call it a high or low, because this is actually the bottom. But I bought some calls on this, and it pushed up, but it wasn't really in the money, because I always take little small positions, especially when I'm not trading my main setup, which I have 2, which the double bottom is actually one of them, but it had already started pushing up, and I didn't want to take a large size and be chasing. So I took a small position, and it grinded sideways. And once it got up here, it wasn't even any money in it, because it chopped around so much right here. Then it chopped around here. So once it got over this line and it came right here, I ended up adding a put to it to try to hedge it. So this whole action ended up mainly just being zero because one was always up, the other one would be down. They'd be even because they was around the same area that I purchased both of them. So I held both of those. I took two small loss. And now let's get into today's trades. So I was red yesterday. And then today, I started off with Netflix actually today. And I longed it off pre-market lows right here. I don't know why that's not marked up anymore. But I longed it off pre-market lows. It didn't actually get all the way down there, but I seen it hold in. So I went on ahead and hopped in. Didn't take like a large amount. I just took a couple of contracts, and it pushed up. And once it got up here, I sold my position. Then I bought a strike price that was actually cheaper. So I sold my position and then got a cheaper strike price so that if that one went to zero, it wouldn't even make me red on the day anyway. So it automatically made me green. So my second position, I ended up holding on Netflix, my calls. I actually waited for it to come down and tag this VWAP, and then I bought some calls just in case it wanted to rip, which all this side grinding kind of made it do nothing. It actually lost its value once it pushed all the way up here because I had the 350 calls. Once it pushed up here, it still wasn't really, it was such a small amount that I just left it on. If it was only way I was going to make money off of it ended up being if it got up to 350, which it started rejecting and dumping out here, as you can see, and the day ain't even over with. So I still have that position on. It's not even at a large amount. So even if it goes to zero, then I won't even be red for the trade, for my Netflix trade. But I did take SQ today too. So my SQ that I took, I longed off my pre-market lows, which was in here once it pushed down and then it came back up. And then on this candle is when I actually got in. It pushed up and then it rejected and came up back up and chopped around. I was in the money a little bit, but it was so small that I just left it alone because I was actually looking for it to go. I had the 72 calls. So I was, this can actually could have made it up there because this SQ can move a few dollars a day, usually move between $2 and $3 a day. And since it was at 70, it opened up here at 71. 72 wasn't that far away from it. So even from down here at 69.75, it could have pushed up to 72. So it didn't do what I thought it would do. We had news today, a catalyst for the stock market. That's how come the SPY moved the way it did. We had news at 10 o'clock, so that's where this came from right here, from the news. And Netflix, for some reason, wasn't moving with it. Normally, I use the SPY to gauge the market to see where it's going to go. But when the SPY was running, it didn't really make that much of a move. It was stuck right here. Like, it was some real big selling going into this area, so it couldn't break it, and it just stayed right here, and it really chopped my my VWAP position to pieces. So I thought that with the news it was going to either push or I would just dump out, and it just grinded all through here. By the time it did come up, it still wasn't really worth even taking off the trade. So I just left it on. But the SPY, that's why I was in the position of, I thought that once it did break out, it was going to run maybe to 350. I had some 345 calls out the gate from here. and they got up to 343, and I sold them. They actually made it to the 345, which was around here, and I should have held them longer because I could have actually ended up making more because I think I sold it somewhere down here, but it's all right. I got majority of the move up here. So that's my recap for today. If anybody have any questions, leave them down in the comments area. Hit that like button and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you all this weekend. I'll be talking about candlesticks so that you can follow along with me trading what these are, candlesticks on different time frames. So like I said, subscribe if you like the content, and I'll see you this weekend. Later.
Yo, I ain't here for the money,